warned you guys we were going to be skipping around. Let's go over here, down to Japan. Yes. All right. We dropped the atomic bombs on Japan. We dropped them on 2 cities. Someone raise their hand and name the 2 cities. What?
Hiroshima.
Hiroshima and then Nagasaki. Okay. Yes, good job. All right. So, yes, here they come. All right, I'm going to introduce you guys to someone. This is General Douglas MacArthur.
Hi.
All right, everyone say hi to General MacArthur.
Hi.
MacArthur, and you guys remember the jump starter we had the other day? Eisenhower was the general in control of Europe. Okay? General Eisenhower was like the big dog of Europe. MacArthur is in charge of the entire war throughout the Pacific.
Whoa.
He creates a strategy. He's the one, he creates a strategy where we go from island to island. And sometimes we skip the islands. What's the term for this? Someone raise their hand and tell me. Island hopping. Okay? I'm going to tell you a couple things about General MacArthur. Because we're going to get back to him in a couple days. Yes.
Which one is he?
I'm sorry, guys. He is right here.
Hi.
Okay? He's outdoors. He's always got the sunglasses, and he usually has a corncob pipe in his mouth. He is old school. Okay? There he is. I think this may have been at Okinawa or Iwo Jima. The boats pull up. He jumps out, wades to shore. All right? This man's a fighter. He comes to play, and he plays to win.
Why is he done?
Well, we're going to talk more about him on Friday. And these are some things that we're going to... Yes, sir?
Is it something? Are they sinking?
No, they're walking across. They're wading to shore. Okay? Now, General MacArthur, after Japan surrenders, he accepts their surrender on board the USS Missouri. This is an actual photograph. All right?
There are all those people watching.
Oh, yeah. And they had to come on board that ship and they signed the surrender papers. That would have been pretty intimidating. That's actually a good way, good job. No, Dakota, yeah. Japan, yes, Japan was surrendered aboard this ship. Yes. Okay? Now listen. MacArthur, he's the senior rank, he's like the high-ranking guy in the military in the United States. He also knows a lot about the Asian countries. He spent most of his career in Asia. All right, I don't think if Japan surrendered, what year did Japan surrender? 1945. By 1945, he hadn't been back to the United States in almost like a decade at this point. All right? He's tough, and he knows his way around the Asian countries. And for this reason, he is put in charge of rebuilding Japan. Here he is with Emperor Hirohito. You guys have not seen a picture of Emperor Hirohito at this point. Now, remember you guys asked a couple weeks ago why we did not bomb Tokyo and kill the Emperor? So raise your hand, guys. Someone raise your hand.
Because somebody like Hitler would take over, like somebody that wanted power really bad.
Well, we needed his help to help rebuild Japan. Okay? And then you're also correct, yes, we don't want to leave the door open for someone else to come in and take charge. Okay? You guys have heard of Robert E. Lee and his Army of Northern Virginia. When Lee surrendered at Appomattox, Lee told his troops, "You have been good soldiers. Now it's time to go home and be good citizens." Basically, he says the same thing to the Japanese people. It's time to stop fighting. And they do. And since then, Japan and the USA have been good allies. Okay? In this picture, I want you guys, this is a great image. This is a really good image. Who is dressed perfectly in this picture? Raise your hand if you think General MacArthur is dressed perfectly.
It's the Japanese guy.
Raise your hand if you think Emperor Hirohito is dressed perfectly. I agree. I agree. Look at their stance. Who is more official looking, proper looking in the picture? Emperor Hirohito or General MacArthur? Emperor Hirohito. heard people, Dustin asks how come. Well, basically, well, this is a good question. Basically, you see the emperor, he's the highest ranking official in Japan, and he's standing next to someone who's not fully dressed in military attire, and they're kind of standing like this. Someone raise your hand and tell me what's the feeling you get from this picture? Immediately, who do you think is in charge? Keely.
General MacArthur.
General MacArthur. He's running the country. Yes. Okay. But he needs the emperor's help, and they need the emperor. And the emperor does cooperate. Okay. I got a question for you guys, and I'm going to pick someone randomly. Catherine, if you were in, no, it's okay, and there's no wrong answer. Okay, there's no wrong answer. If you were in the United States, all right, and we just won a war against Japan, and you saw this picture on the front page of the newspaper, what would you think?
It's on the road.
Catherine.
What are they doing? Are they working together?
Would you be happy to see General MacArthur standing next to the emperor? It's in Japan. And we're rebuilding their country. It's okay. Yes or no? You don't know? Okay. Well, let's reverse this question. Lindsay, say you are in Japan in 1945 at the same time. Okay? The same picture that came to Catherine's doorstep comes to your doorstep. And you see your emperor standing next to General MacArthur in this fashion. How would you feel?
Probably mad. I don't know. Because it looks like the emperor is like scared of the general because he's like just saying terrorist stuff and everything.
That's a good point, guys. This is something. I remind you. Go ahead.
Because Japan never like really surrenders, so they wouldn't want to unless like that happened to them. And so I'd probably be mad because when you're in Japan, you're probably taught not to give up or something, and then you give up, and like it feels like you gave up, and then you see your emperor with the general from the USA, you probably feel mad.
How would you guys react? We're in a war right now with the terrorists in Afghanistan. How would you guys react if a newspaper showed up at your door tomorrow morning and you see the leader of the country that defeated us standing next to our president?
I'd be mad.
Let me tell you something, guys. History, and I'm going to say this over and over again until you're sick of it. History is about people. It always has been, it always will be, okay?